No, but seriously.
Oh, no time to talk. It's going. It's going.
Why would you like time?
I don't know. I mean, it's like you could say it adds to the challenge, but I don't think that's like the type of challenge I want. I don't want it to be like a speed thing. I just don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd say instead of making a time limit, maybe just make the game a little bit harder. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, I just don't want it to be like a race.
I think most people would probably agree. Fuck time.
Yeah. I can't use the egg on both because there's not enough time. The hardest thing about making the videos is just finding time to make them, trying to balance them with my personal life, because I have so much other crap going on. It's hard not to be distracted by other things all the time. Like, say the video takes 40 hours to make, I might only get 3 hours a day to work on it. So the latest that I have looked up, the latest that I've heard is there is an HD master done. But James Cameron needs the time to approve it, and he hasn't had the time yet, which I totally understand. I remember we played a ton of games that I like thought was cool, but never played again after E3 for whatever reason, just because like I kind of just forgot about it, or didn't get the time. It's fresh, it's new, it's hot. If I'm going to say anything about it, I might as well say it now, right? It's only 4 episodes. Each episode is 25 minutes or less, so it's less time than watching an average movie, so I have no excuse. I need to finish it up. I need like one more day of shooting to wrap it up and start editing it, but I haven't had time.
This one's a lot harder to talk about because it's so new. I rarely get a chance to play any newer games for my own leisure, so I haven't had much free time to play this yet.
And I understand people have had more time off, and but those days are filled for me. I mean, I don't know about everybody else. Maybe everybody else has a lot more time on the holidays. Maybe that's more convenient for them. Also, I've been looking at this one is Brian Johnson from AC/DC. His book is a little more funny. Like he makes it into like these little funny stories of things. But I've only read a little bit of it so far. I plan to finish these books when I get some time. They're like, Jim, go. I'm driving. They're like, Jim, go. Hit the gas. And I always thought about that because there was no time for them to both. There was no time that day for them to both plan it as if it was a joke on me. There's no time.
No distractions. You deserve this time. Right now, it's like outer space. Time has no meaning. That ticking clock on the wall is going to get a bazooka to the face. You're going to kick that grandfather clock down the staircase.
Here, the key never appears. Just never. It never appears. I played this stage for about an hour before I eventually looked up an online walkthrough from someone who probably had more time to spare than me.
If I had the time, I would make a feature film that's 12 hours long, but the actual story happens in the middle and is only about an hour and a half. That's where all the conflict happens, but the beginning and end, it's just casual, like nothing's going on. Imagine what that would be like. Well, earlier this year, the server stopped working. It just wouldn't stay mounted. So for the next few weeks, I was using my backup drives and copying everything onto bigger drives. I could never fully explain how time-consuming and mentally exhausting this was. Anywhere I want to look, there's so much crap to move out of the way, and that's all very time-consuming. And that's nothing unusual. It's very common on a movie set that most of the time is spent setting up shots and very little of the time is spent actually filming. But when I'm short on time and trying to be as quick, as convenient, and efficient as possible, I just stick to the couch shot. I'll set up a different angle when there's a good reason and if it's worth the price of time. In the old days, I'm talking way back, I would sometimes have to spend up to 18 hours a day to get some of these bigger episodes done. That is no longer possible for me. As a natural fact of life, I have less time now than I did when I was in my 20s making these videos. Some people have asked me, why are you so busy? Most of the people who I've heard from are very nice and they mean well, but there's some who are just mystified or just can't fathom, like, why don't you have time anymore? Take a wild guess. What's the biggest thing that's different now? I have kids. I don't think I need to explain that. For anyone who doesn't understand what a big responsibility and time commitment that is, then ask someone who is a parent and they will tell you all about it. But we're now in catch-up mode, not just with videos, but with personal life. Most people, I think, get that, but some don't and underestimate the toll that COVID had. Everyone was affected differently. You have to respect that. Some people had more time, some people had less time. So when you have a project to do, but you don't have enough time, what do? You get help. Anyway, I got to get back to making videos now. It's tough to make a video about not having much time when you don't have much time.
Hello, I'm James, and as of September 2002, I have made 100 movies. And you know what? I wish that I could show you all of them. But I don't really think you have the time.
I think it'd be a frightening amount of time if we added it up how much time we've spent.
Okay, Frozen, the horror movie. You know what's funny is that Frozen, I've been trying to do some kind of review of this movie for years. It came out in 2010, and I remember seeing it and being like, oh, I gotta talk about this movie, this is great. And then eventually, you know, I never had time. Yeah, so when that came out, I'm like, okay, well, mainstream Disney animated movie and horror movie, completely two different things. But I was like, this is so great. I got to do it now and just not even address the Disney one. And of course, I didn't get a chance to do it in time. It came out at like the worst possible time. I was too busy with everything else.
Wait till you see the next one. As excited I am about the one about Hearts on Fire that we just put out, wait till you see the next one. It is like...
Yeah. Because I think by Too Many Games, we'll have 6 songs to go live with, right? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I'd probably like 6. So we are going to play live and see what happens.
And
it's
we'll
going to be a
4 music videos out by then.
Too Many Games
Yeah.
still like 3 months off from now.
October. It's first weekend in October.
Well, I don't
September,
think we're going to
yeah.
have time to put out any more music videos, so a lot of these songs will probably be their live debut. So the prequel, I don't know if we're ever going to have time to do it because, to be honest, to do the prequel the way I want to do it, it would probably take like a whole year. And so that would mean having to put a stop to Nerd. Like, I can't do it all at the same time anymore because when we did the last season of Board James, that was like, if you just counted the time it took to make those 8 episodes there, that was like 6 months straight of like intense work. It was actually more spread out, but it was like 6 months total probably. Because that same year, I was still doing AVGN. I was like, I did that Jekyll and Hyde movie trailer, and I was killing myself to get the Board James saga finished, you know, the right way. So I don't see how I'd ever have time to do it. That's the short answer. That's sometimes what I watch. Like sometimes like before I go to bed, like if I have like a little bit of time to watch something, but it's like not enough time to watch a movie, or if I'm about to fall asleep soon, I'll go on YouTube and just look at like
The Local Bandit YouTube channel.
Well, I don't have time to see every movie this summer.
I have a lot of interesting consoles. This one's from Poland.
From Poland?
I think so.
Somebody sent it to you? From Poland?
Yeah. Let me see what if he. Yeah, from Poland. I've never tried it yet.
Haven't had the time?
Yeah. Yeah, we are very limited on time. Mike is showing me this really quick. So we're recording some games, and we have like 15 minutes free right now. If I were to keep doing that, like if I was still editing those videos, I think I would learn a lot, because I've tried to learn Spanish too. But like with any language or anything, I usually if you don't have time to stay at it and be consistent, it doesn't really stick.
So anyway, that was cool to see you actually land the plane.
What time is it? What time do we have right now?
We have 9 minutes.
Okay.
Or 8 minutes.
Are you guys ready for the fan Q&A?
Sure.
Yeah.
So from now on, even though in the first other podcast episodes I was pulling these from Reddit and Facebook and YouTube and all sorts of places, now I'm only pulling them from my Twitter, because it's easier. There's way too many places to source from.
Okay.
And I got way too many answers, so I'm just pulling them from my Twitter now.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of time. Yeah, for sure. What time we got?
We got 4 minutes left.
This all pretty much happened after my second child was born. That was really the big turning point, where one child, that it was already hard enough. It was like, okay, well, I don't have the kind of time I used to. Now I have two. And once I had two, it's like, wow, now it's just, with one, all your time goes
doesn't
away.
exist.
And then with two, it's like all the time that didn't exist. Now it's like just double that, which is impossible. Just double that.
Forget about it.
I can't imagine. There's people who have 3 kids, who have 4, who have 5.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Like, that's crazy. I can't imagine more than 2. I mean,
oh my, yeah, like we talk about time is of the essence, and it's like I mean, your time is just gone, especially as a creative person like you, dude. Like, you know, you need time to map stuff out, and when you only have a small window where it's like, okay, like you know, yeah. Rob loves. I mean, it's a shame because he kind of burn out on it, like just like his passion for acting and stuff like that. You know, like even just, I mean,
time moves on.
But yeah, hopefully we do this again sometime, and we take some more time to do it.
Hello, I'm the director of these no-budget, moneyless, homemade movies you are about to see. They're made around school and stuff with limited time.
Would I live stream more often with him? Oh, yeah. I'd like to. We have a few times, but usually we're too busy just playing like the normal things because we gotta record. Every time I meet up with him, we gotta record the episodes for James and Mike Mondays, and there isn't really any extra time. I love getting the question. I love that you love it as much as I, because Board Games is my favorite series I think I've done. But it was a planned out story arc that completed. So the last one that I did was the grand finale. Like, it all built up to that climax, so it's over. Like, that's the ending. And I like to keep it that way because, to me, Board Games is sacred, where if I were to continue it in some way, I'd want it to top what I did before. And right now, there's no time to do that.
Okay.
I don't really remember how the cat works.
Yeah, it's kind of like you hold Y when you climb.
Okay.
You don't really get much time to figure it out here.
I tend to overcompensate a lot. I guess I have like fear of being bored, so I bring DVDs, even though I know I'm probably not going to have time to watch many of them.
This is the beginning of day 3. This road trip's pretty much all about just trying to get there. So it's just been like pure adrenaline the whole time. Haven't had a whole lot of time to film stuff. So you destroy the target, the portal appears somewhere, and you have to race and get to it within a very short time limit. And I mean very short. There's a time limit within the stage, too. I'm running around trying to kill this plant thing, but the motherfucker won't stay still. Come on, I'm running out of time! Fuck! On top of trying to stay alive, you have to do it all before the time runs out. Oh, look, I beat him, and the time's still going. Come on, I gotta get to the final boss. Yes, I made it. 2 seconds to spare. Then you get a cutscene. There's no way anybody's gonna bother to read this. Your heart is pounding so fast, and you're ripping your hair out of your head wondering, what the fuck am I gonna have to fight now? I'm at the final boss. What is it? What? The fucking time limit? You think that after the cutscene, the timer would start over. But no! You fight the 3 bosses, then it's the cutscene, then you fight 2 forms of the final boss. So that's basically 5 bosses in total, all on the same life bar and the same time limit. You get unlimited continues, so there's no excuse to shut off the game. You just keep playing and playing and playing. Eventually, you start to get good at it. You can blow through all these bosses, taking as little damage as possible, but then the time always runs out. His only weak spot is the face. The ideal strategy is to climb onto the wall and keep shooting, but your beam doesn't reach. Not without full power-ups. You can try jumping off and shooting, but that takes too long. You don't have time. When you're plowing through the stage, you gotta stop and get all the power-ups, but that wastes time too. I'd say the trip was boring and exciting at the same time. It was boring because we didn't have a lot of leisure time, so we didn't get to stop and visit any places really.